Next step is we are setting up the trusses for the roof. We're doing that before we do the walls, just so that we have this platform here to lay everything out on. And since my miter saw won't do 60-degree cuts, we're having to lay these suckers out first of all, and then we're gonna, this is the top chord here of the truss, and then we're gonna lay out the bottom chord and mark them, and we'll get all the ones cut that we need for a template, and make sure it's gonna work fine, and then we'll cut the rest of them and just go to nailing. Well, it was actually more of a pain in the ass to lay out these trusses than I imagined, but after about an hour or two, we got the first template up, so now we're just gonna try to cut all these boards the same length. Now the only problem is, I guess my miter saw is not cutting like a perfect 30-degree angle, so that one's a little bit off, but it's not gonna matter because we're gonna use plywood gussets to hold all these together. So now we're just gonna cut, I think, 9 copies of this cock swindler, and we'll get it all screwed together, be good to go. Well, it took us a little bit, but we got all the wood for the trusses cut out. There's gonna be 9 trusses in all, and we got all that cut, and it's getting dark now, so next step is gonna be to cut some plywood gussets and screw all these son of a guns together. This is how we're what I mean by the plywood gussets. We're just cutting out little squares of plywood, putting them at every joint. I'm trying to put 2 screws into each 2x4. And here on this spot, since it's especially structurally sensitive, we're using a metal mending plate. But we're just gonna get this last one put in here and flip it over and do the same to the other side. We got everything cut and ready and stacked, and got our 100% maximum production facility set up right here. We just took and nailed down some scraps of wood wherever all our the top and bottom cords go, and then we don't have the web members blocked out, but they'll pretty much just slide in there tight. So we're just gonna go through here and screw on some gussets. All right, it took us about 30 minutes for this first one, but the next one should just slap the fuck together, and that's what they end up looking like. And they're pretty structurally sound, and we're just gonna keep on blowing and going. Well, I hit a nail with my skill saw and went out of whack, so we're covering everything up for today because it's fixing to rain probably, but we got about 5 or 6 of them done. Only got 3 or 4 more, so I'm gonna cover this up as best as we can and come back at it tomorrow. This is what I'm talking about when I say I hit a nail with my skill saw. Is we ran out of plywood. It turned out 1 4x8 sheet was not enough, so I was getting ready to use some of this pressure treated plywood that I have here on the property, and I was cutting through it, boom, boom, boom. Then all of a sudden I hit a nail, because this is all stuff that I've scavenged and like got from other jobs and stuff like this. So I didn't see that freaking nail there, and I hit it with my skill saw when I was cutting through here, and it dulled one side of the blade. So now all I'm cutting are crooked cuts. I can't go straight with this son of a gun because I messed up the blade. So we're gonna have to get a new skill saw blade and just get after it again tomorrow. Today we're going to be joining all the trusses up and making them solid. So instead of buying a bunch of mending plates at like 85 cents a piece, I'm just gonna cut plywood gussets and screw them on there. Next step is we're gonna finish up the rest of these trusses, and decided to go ahead and go with 10-foot high walls because I'm actually gonna use this as a little tiny house, and I'm just gonna use a little section of it for my mycology lab, which as the operation grows and everything, I'm probably gonna make a larger one that's more permanent, and probably have a concrete pad and stuff for that. But so we're gonna make 10-foot high walls so we can put a loft in here. But that's what we're doing. All right, we got all 9 trusses made up and they're good to go. Now we're gonna go ahead and disassemble this little template thing that we got nailed down and start making the walls.